All right, this video is for a very special member of ours. Wants some more mobile hips, knows that they have a tight kind of posterior chain or hamstring region, have some low back, neck pain, nothing major, still able to be very active, but just wants to be more mobile and maybe reduce some of that spinal pain, all right? So here's gonna be a really good mobility routine before or after a workout, before or after bed. Before bed could both be really good times to do these, okay? So we're gonna start right here. Basically gonna start with the cat camel, all right? Really love this exercise just for increasing spinal mobility, the viscosity of the gel and the discs, and really just kind of spinal awareness stuff. And it's really easy to do in the mornings when you're kind of stiff and asleep and just want to get moving, okay? So what we're gonna think about is just big round, tucking our chin, tucking our tailbone, spinning our pelvis in, and then untucking it, and looking all the way up and flipping the tailbone back, okay? And you'll notice some people will kind of arch in the thoracic spine, typically a little bit more. Some will have a very flat lumbar. That's okay, but just trying to build awareness maybe into areas where you're stiff and then trying to emphasize those areas, okay? Some other things you can do in this position, you can, once you're rounded or in neutral, you can do some head rotations. Same thing in neutral again. Looking up, looking down, and as well as in full extension. Just kind of working some neck movements in there, okay? So from the cat camel, you're gonna get about 10 or so repetitions of those. You can also do like some rotations if you want, just to kind of hit some of the corners. All right, so there's a few different ways to do those. None of them are right or wrong, just whatever feels best for you. Okay, next one, we're gonna go into child's pose. And then prone press up, or cobra pose, okay? Child's pose. Prone press up. All right, a couple of variations here. In this child pose, you can reach and twist, you can turn your head, reach and twist, turn your head. And then when you come into this prone press up, you can also let the hips rotate. I really like that. Good hip extension, lumbar extension rotation, thoracic rotation, okay? And then we'll come back. All right, so from there, we're gonna go into our A-frame. And basically it comes from here, and then we're just gonna press up, drive our head between our arms, come forward onto our hands. Head between the arms, forward into wrist extension. Okay, we'll do a few there. Then we can add in some legs up. We'll kick through. We'll go into some shoulder extension. Okay, spin back. We'll do the other leg. Let it kick through. Spin up into some shoulder extension. Let that head drop back. Okay. You can do another 10 or so there. You can do 5 of the double leg, 5 of the kick arounds, really whatever you got time for, all right? So that's another good one I like to go to in this flow. From here, we'll come back to, you do it this way, 90-90 rotations. So the goal, obviously 90 degrees, sit up big and tall as you can. Some people can do this without their hands. We've talked about my hips, they're not great, I cannot. Maybe one day. We're gonna lean forward. You can see my foot tries to suck in a little bit as I lean forward. I can block it if I want, that's okay. And then we're gonna lean back. Now what you can do is just do a few rotations of that if you want. And you can flip to the other side. When I flip, I like to dig my front toe in rather than my heel. And just flip on over, Same thing here. Can do a few rotations. Instead of doing that, you can literally just come, flip, spin, reach, flip, spin, here, here. Just kind of depends on what mood I am, whether or not I'm doing either one of those. Sometimes I do them both. Okay, another thing you can play with in this position is just sitting up tall, left to right, keeping your chest more straight, letting your legs do all the work. And you can also do, they call bear sitting. I've seen some people that can have their hips out like this and knees all the way down to the ground. I cannot. I don't know that I ever will. I think my hip socket's a little too deep for that. Who knows? That's another one you can get into. And last but not least, we start wide, work our way up. Okay, we're gonna get 5 or 10 repetitions here, just to loosen up these hips, maybe in this extension position, but either way, from here, we'll rotate out, drop that back knee down, put the foot flat, let it come backwards, point that front toe. Suck it back in, toes in the ground, spin around, drop that knee down, toe flat, reach back, point that front toe. Okay, and then we'll just go through that progression. Should be getting kind of wider and wider each time. One more. What you may notice is some people have a hard time getting the outside of their foot on the ground. Rolling it over like that, maybe you can see that. A lot of times it's actually tied up in here to that hip. It's really tight up there. You're not able to actually fully extend your hip. So therefore your foot's trying to stay spun out. So from here, legs will come all the way up. Start by just trying to get one foot down. I really like this for my neck and shoulder blade, low back. You can do something different with your hands. Then you can actually try to toes to the ground. You can spin your legs left to right. You can curl up into a ball. That feels really good. That's number one. Bonus number one. Bonus number two. Squat stance. I know you can't see my head, that's okay. I'm bear hugging a ball and I'm pulling myself down into a squat. This ball just kind of acts as a counterbalance. I like to shift right or left toes, keep my heel on the ground as long as I can. It's okay to get it off the ground once you run out of room. Try to stand tall. You can rotate left to right. Do a few of each of those. Maybe get 5 reps there. This is something you can play with throughout the day. All right, get something to hold in your hands. Work on that deep squat. Okay. And last but not least, bonus, make sure you do some hanging. All right, this really stretches out the spine, the shoulder muscles. If you supinate your hands or turn your palms backwards, we're typically really, really tight through there, missing some supination. Oh, hang from there, okay? Can work some head movements in if you want, whatever feels good. All right, so that's a general mobility routine. Spine, hips, should be feeling pretty good after trying that for a few weeks. Starting to loosen things up. When you're ready for something more, let us know. We got some more challenging things coming up.